I eventually think and I wish that all of our community members end up with good returns from crypto and stocks that they hold, even bigger than me. And that would make me even happier. What I would try to pass on as a message or an example, that don't let such monetary gains have impact on your mindset, on investing, on your attitude towards monetary gains or life decisions. So that's what I think. Maybe others can have a different approach, but I tend to follow that.
That's so down to earth. I I I'm really feeling um, being monetarily successful and still remaining down to earth, grounded is very huge gift. And may God keep blessing you and all members on this group who are learning from you both monetary aspect and how to still being humble and grounded. Really appreciate your bit of advice.
Thank you so much. Means I personally learn from everyone. I wouldn't say that I'm some pro or anything. I follow all of the technical analysis videos that you do along with Vivek sir and Tahir, and I spend around 2 hours on every weekend. Sometimes it can be of 1 hour. The time duration of the videos changes, but I always try to follow that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your conviction and your faith in the analysis that we do every week and the time that we spend. It's longer for few people. I do understand, but you ignoring that aspect and watching our analysis, really appreciate your faith in us in the analysis that we do. Thank you for that.
Absolutely, Kamil. I mean, it's your all three of you means you guys carry the group and you guys take an initiative, and that is something no other member does. I think that's a huge round of applause to all of you.
Thank you so much. And we have learned a lot from you as well. You were here with us about a year back in June, and you shared your investing strategies. I know for sure many members and people who are not in part of this group but would have watched your session later on YouTube and would have learned how to plan and invest for long term through growth investing, through dividend investing. And your role is also valuable. We really appreciate your contribution that time. And today it's been overflowing the information, the experience that you are sharing with us. Really thanks for your frankness.
Always a pleasure, Kamal, for the community.
So with that, I think I have covered the list that I had. I would be happy to open up to members on the call to come up and share their views and ask questions they have in their mind. Please feel free to unmute and go ahead and talk directly to Akash.
Hey Akash, Deepak here.
Hi Deepak, how are you?
Yeah, I would just like to congratulate you because I don't know much about cryptocurrency as well. But when I saw that you made a huge gains, like I was very happy. I just wanted to see like who's the guy, and I just wanted to congratulate you, man. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Deepak.
really happy for you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I wish you the same luck. And I hope my thoughts and what I shared helps you out in making your decisions in crypto. And
Yeah.
stay with the community, and
Yeah.
let's keep growing.
I try my best. I learn from Kamal and Vivek sir as well. Whenever I get time, I always join their Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, if possible, do share your other strategies as well. Like you said, you were into dividend portfolio as well. So if possible, because crypto is not everybody's cup of tea, you know.
Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm more into the dividend portfolios. So
Sure.
if possible, do share that thing with us, like which stocks you have, what is your what kind of analysis you do, how do you make sure that you're going to invest in particular thing. That would be beneficial for everybody, I think, in the long run, of course.
Sure, Deepak. I'll try to share my holdings and my decision making around those, and how I try to manage the risk and allocations in the portfolio. I'll certainly try to share it with the community.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Deepak.
Yeah, congratulations once again, and thank you, Kamal, for bringing Akash to the Zoom meeting. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Deepak. It's our pleasure to have Akash and learn from him.
Just to drive the conversation, I think everybody is doing something. What do you do for a living, Akash? Like, where do you work, or what's your profession apart
So,
from investment?
yeah, so Deepak, I work with the Indian company called Infosys. I'm a technical lead in that. I work on a platform called ServiceNow. Even that is a S&P 500 listed company, but I work on that platform. It's a cloud-based ITSM tool. I'm a developer in that.
Oh, in ServiceNow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I use ServiceNow actually. Your Infosys is from Chandigarh?
Yeah. I'm based out of Chandigarh itself, and I work with different clients. Right now, I'm working with the oil and gas company called ExxonMobil. So Infosys is handling their project.
All right. So I'm from Mohali.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Your name seems Punjabi to me, so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
ask this question.
Yeah. Majority of my colleagues call me Akash Man, and
Yeah.
so
Okay.
actually it's Man, but I tend to have the bad pronunciation all around me.
Cool. Nice to know.
Thank you.
Thank- yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on the new cryptocurrency called Shiba Inu?
Yeah, Deepak. So some of my friends have bought it, and again it fluctuates like anything. One day it's down 40%, 50%, 15%, 20%. It's again sheer luck in that, I would say. It's complete madness is around the altcoins right now. And if I were to suggest you anything, I would suggest you only buying into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano right now.
All right. Okay.
That's my thought. And even if you see price fluctuations and you have capacity of averaging down, I would do that if I was in your place, and I would hold those in a wallet that pays out interest. So there are 3-4 wallets. One is Celsius, one is BlockFi, and another one is Crypto.com itself. So they pay you weekly interest to keep your holdings there. Just by keeping your holdings there, you get interest as well. And if your position is down, you're eventually cutting out your losses there.
Yeah, that would be beneficial if you could share your link of Celsius, BlockFi, and Crypto to the group. If like people are interested, they can sign up.
Yeah, sure. I use Celsius and Crypto.com. I don't use BlockFi, so I'll share both.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Akash. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Deepak. Happy investing to you.
Yeah, sure. I'm just a beginner.
Everybody starts as a beginner. I still consider myself as a beginner and an intermediate in between that, but I don't consider myself in an I don't want to put in more info into what I'm saying, but if what I think is, if someone starts to think of themselves as an expert, then they start to have a kind of arrogance and a point of risk that they ignore. So in investing, I always try to be in the learning mode, and I try to follow that path, and let's see how it holds on. And it's been going good, and I wish it stays the same way.
Yeah, we all hope so and pray for real.
So you use Celsius for buying Bitcoin? Or
I don't buy on the interest paying wallets. I buy mostly on crypto.com and on Binance. Yeah.
Because I'm completely new, so I'm asking where to buy and where to put.
Yeah. So when you would be looking out for different exchanges, I would suggest you follow two things. How secure is that exchange and what type of fees they have on withdrawals and trading. So these can be two key points that I look into: security and the fees.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Kamal. Thank you, Akash.
Thanks, Deepak. Yeah, related to Deepak's question, Vivek Nalavade has asked in the chat, what's the future crypto which you have strong conviction in?
Yeah. Kamal, what drives my thought on the conviction of a coin is what is their use case in real world and how it is being invested in, or how institutions are flowing into it. Now, if you see PayPal 3-4 years ago, it was thrashing Bitcoin, but today they offer you to buy Bitcoin on their platform. And JP Morgan, one of the biggest bank, JP Morgan Chase, biggest bank in the world, it was thrashing Bitcoin a year ago. And today they're introducing Bitcoin to their investors. So when in a coin, when institutes start pouring, that's when there is a use case and they find out a value in that. And that coin automatically has a sustainability over the other coins. So one focus is that. Second point would be how well you understand a coin's use, or what is the reason of their existence. What main applications a coin has. If you look at Bitcoin, it is regarded as digital gold, and eventually it is turning out to be. Gold right now is sitting on losses year to date, and Bitcoin is again screaming up. And gold has an unlimited supply. Bitcoin has 21 million coins to be mined, and there is a finite supply. So automatically, there is a deflationary model. And if we look into every coin and study more, then we'll find out the use cases. What the coin's actual use cases in the real world, and whether it has a case for the future. So that's how I tend to go into the analysis part.
Thanks for sharing your conviction about the crypto market in general. Now, there is a common question which has come up in this chat and also in the sheet. Uh, is it advisable to hold Dogecoin now? And from another member, there was a similar question that what is the probability of Dogecoin losing its market and going bankrupt? This question is specifically about Dogecoin.
Yeah. So if we talk about Dogecoin, so right now it's in a very cyclical manner. The price is in a very cyclical manner. And what is driving its price is mainly the activities around it, mainly the news around it. So a week or two ago, there was some news about it being added on different exchanges that got pumped. Then different billionaire investors come in to pumping it to $1 that comes in, and these are the kind of means events that have an impact on the price directly. And now, I think 1 week ago, there is a Saturday Night Live comedy show that Elon Musk went on and mentioned Dogecoin as a hustle, and that's how Dogecoin value dropped down. And if you have to invest it, if someone is looking to make means good returns out of it, so first of all, they have to be on top of the activity what is happening around Dogecoin. And second of all, I wouldn't recommend you put 100% of your money into a coin that is so volatile. I would suggest rather if you want to play your luck, put 10%, 20% max, or even 25%. I wouldn't go above that, and follow everything accordingly, the timeline of activities, because crypto, again, it's not a regularized market. So stocks, if there is any insider trading or pumping and dumping of stocks, so SEC jumps in and regulates everything. But in terms of crypto, there are certain terminologies, like there are crypto whales, there are Bitcoin whales who tend to hold the largest amount of coins. Then there are Doge whales. One wallet has around 16 billion sitting in the Dogecoin wallet, 16 billion of value. So if today that wallet tends to sell everything, then eventually Doge price will crash. Buying and selling in an unregulated market is a risky thing, and risk will have a reward. If our risk is medium, then we'll have a medium or high tendency of reward. So in that case, don't allocate a major part of your portfolio into Doge. Follow the news and be on top of the activities. It shouldn't be chasing the FOMO. Crypto has a huge derivative of flowing through FOMO. So fear of missing out if say someone says Doge is, let's say we are sitting in a drawing room and someone says Doge is shooting up today. Immediately we know that 30% it's already shot up and we are late for the wave. And if we put in at that 30% gain and the next thing is it tanks 5%, 10%, then we start to sweat and lose our patience on that. So if we are putting any, let's even $100, $1,000, $2,000, be on top of that activity and monitor according everything. So and keep the emotions out of your portfolio.
That's really key, keeping the emotions out. Um,
Yeah.
Now, adding to that question, do you think Dogecoin can reach $1 someday, or it can lose its market?
So there is a very really good probability that when next week Coinbase is going to list it, it can shoot up nearly to $1. $1 to 80 cents is what's the price analysts are coming in. And at least what I'm thinking it's going to touch 80 cents. But how long it will stay there or how brief it will stay there, I cannot be sure of that because uh, I'm just a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah, if anyone else have any questions, please feel free to ask. Maybe I can continue with the questions that.
Guys,
Please go ahead.
guys, it's not an office meeting. You can speak. It's not a scrum call going on.
Yeah, I mean, we tend to have all sorts of different questions that we might think those are a bit naive or may sound dumb to each other, but I also tell myself dumb questions and ask dumb questions to people. But I wouldn't mind asking dumb questions there and even getting one. So if there is anything I can help, please let me know.
Yeah.
And to top it all, I'm not going to buy any Lamborghini, Raj. I'll be happy buying a Forerunner and keeping a Toyota, but rather spending it on a Lamborghini.
Yeah, thanks for answering that question. Related to that, we had one more question. So, where are you going to direct this 1 million profit which you got from Dogecoin? Now you have moved to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But what's your long-term plan? Do you have any other plans apart from being moved to these two major cap coins?
Yeah, my analysis around crypto again, Kamal, I try to keep really safe because how I got burnt in 2018, I don't tend to forget that lesson and I keep it close to my heart. And around 70 to 80% of my portfolio would stay on those two coins. Even if, let's say, Ripple tomorrow tends to shoot up 1000%, I wouldn't step into that. And right now, my conviction is around Cardano. I'm building some position into that. And Stellar simply I'm holding to make some good investments, I mean, good returns on my written investment.
Kamal, can I ask one question? It's a
Yeah,
dumb,
sure.
but yeah. So how do you buy Bitcoin? Like right now its price is around $60,000-$70,000. So how do you buy? Do you buy it in chunks?
Yeah, so
do you
Deepak, I buy at a similar price, around $250 bi-weekly. I put into crypto, and sometimes I buy 50-50 in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Sometimes I do 70-30, 70% in Bitcoin, 30% in Ethereum, because some of my Ethereum holdings have been from around $350 per coin, and now it has shot up to around 4-5 thousand. But now, right now, I'm not buying. I'm simply reinvesting. Simply I'm on that compound interest that comes into my Celsius wallet every week.
Oh,
Yeah. So Ethereum, I'm not buying anything, but Bitcoin, I buy mostly bi-weekly. If not bi-weekly, I do it once in a month.
like on in when it is on in the dip, right?
No, not on dip exactly. I buy a fixed amount because the what my analysis on Bitcoin is eventually the price is going on a deflationary model as the supply of Bitcoin is getting reduced. Almost 18 million coins or 18 point something million coins have already been mined. And uh, if you see the remaining supply in circulation of Bitcoin, and it's tending to fall on every major crypto exchange, on on Coinbase, on Binance, the the supply, the limited circulating supply that they call it is dropping like an. That is the reason institutes are holding on to it, and there's a popular term around in crypto called HODL. That means buy and hold. So be it Bitcoin is at 50,000 Canadian or 60,000 Canadian, 70,000 Canadian, or even sitting at its all-time high, whatever amount is it, it's 72, 73,000 Canadian. I'm still buying that same amount.
I have one question related to YFI. What's your view on YFI, which had reached almost 95K last week? It crossed Bitcoin and then it's currently also higher, priced higher than Bitcoin. Did you anytime chance to look at YFI?
Yeah, I think it's something called Yearn Finance, something like this. And one of my friends shared a screenshot of me with it. But to be very honest, Kamal, I don't know anything about it except the price that it shot up so much. And uh, another thing is that if something is has shot up so much in a day or two, there are coins that come into existence this month. Let's say on May 1st, it got listed, and in 2 weeks, it can have a market evaluation of 40-50 billion. So if something can have a market evaluation of 40 billion in 2 weeks, it can have a zero evaluation in the next 2 weeks. So in that case, I don't tend to go that route, and I try to stick to my original plan.
Yeah, it's better to play safe rather than
Yeah,
FOMOing and then losing on it.
exactly.
So Akash, let me ask you this: when did you buy your first car?
So I bought my first crypto in 2016.
No, no, not crypto. Your first car.
First car.
Yeah.
In Canada, I bought my first car in 2018. But in
Okay.
India, I think I bought I bought it with my brother in around 2013.
I believe our members are encouraging you to buy a Lamborghini.
Actually, my friends are now buying cruiser bikes, and my wife is against that. I'm not even buying a motorcycle, and buying a luxury car is way out of the question.
Yeah, especially thinking of buying a sports bike or any bike in a place like Alberta would be use of just for few days to few weeks.
Yeah.
That's how people learn from how investing is important, investing in something that would be of value for longer term instead of just being a short term happiness.
Exactly, Kamal.
Hi guys,
Hi,
this
Nick.
is Nick. This is Nick. How are you? Yeah, so it's an incredible story. Really impressed with your story. You're such
Thank
a
you.
humble and beautiful guy. I mean, I think you just deserve this. This is amazing.
Thank you so much, Nick. I wish you the same.
Just have a question that just out of curiosity, how do you handle your taxes on this?
So, Nick, if we talk about taxes on crypto holdings, unless you convert it into fiat or Canadian currency back, you're not liable to pay any taxes. So
Ah.
if you keep it in crypto itself,
Mhm.
then you don't need to pay any taxes.
Oh, okay.
But when you cash it out, that at that point there are different tax brackets
Sure.
you would be eligible for.
Sure. So when you cashed out of Dogecoin, your $1 million, did you park it somewhere did you like cash it out completely, or did you park it in some other crypto beforehand?
I put it in Bitcoin primarily, Nick, and
Okay.
some part in Ethereum. I didn't convert it into fiat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I personally, I don't understand cryptos at all. So this is completely new to me. I mean, I'm been into stocks for a long time, but not into cryptos at all. But obviously it's a mind-boggling subject.
Exactly, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. So good to hear from you. And anytime, if you need capital, since you're gonna eventually have capital gains, if you need capital losses, let me know. I have plenty on my taxes.
So, Nick, I'll stay in touch. Thank you for the piece of advice.
Okay, it's great to hear from you. I'll mute my phone again. Thanks.
Lovely connecting with you, Nick. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Nick, for bringing in a very important question.
Right.
And Akash is smart enough to not being eligible in paying taxes by still holding his profits into the crypto coins. Just moved it from Dogecoin to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I believe he would be waiting for the year, maybe his retirement, to cash it out when he has to pay less taxes.
Seems like that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Let's see how the future holds come.
Yeah, similar question to that Raj has put in the chat. While selling your Dogecoin, you move to um, BTC and it instead of stable coin USDT. So, what
Yeah.
was the thought process behind that? If you could share.
So these stable coins do have a higher interest rates as well. I think the USDT on these wallets, that interest-paying wallets I mentioned, they pay around 12% interest on that. But for the stable coins, I don't see a huge conviction among the investors and a huge applications for that. Because if I again bring in an example of Bitcoin, so China, uh, China is leading everywhere uh, in stock markets, in other areas, in everything. And China has been the main derivative for crypto now. They have converted their currency into digital currency, and majority part of Bitcoin is mined there. And they have a huge holdings in crypto in Bitcoin. So when countries as huge as China can have a conviction in that, so that's where I tend to follow. And even there's a European country, Norway. I'm sure everyone knows about it. They have kept their national treasury, a part of it, in Bitcoin. So if countries can do that, why not we as individuals can do that?
Awesome. So I
Thank
think you have answered this, but it has come up again in the chat on YouTube. What is your story road to millionaire crypto? Just in a 1 to 2 line, if you would like to share again the thing that you mentioned about your friend saying, or the way you would like to answer this.
Yeah. So the multiple factors played a part in this come. As my story with Doge started in 2015, I used crypto faucets to mine different currencies. And I bought some crypto in 2017 and I faced huge losses in that in 2018. Then in 2019-20, my Ripple investment paid off, and I put chunks of profits from different coins into different. For my profits from Ripple, I put it in different coins, and eventually Doge played along. And I was lucky that my friend had a tip from the Wall Street Bets, and we still follow that Reddit channel, the Wall Street Bets, and they are going huge on multiple things. But it was again what I consider as pure luck.
Good. Thanks for being so transparent and to being open to share your resources as well as being down to earth in sharing your thoughts and actual experience in such a simple words. I think we have had a wonderful learning from Akash. If anyone would like to have a last question before we say thanks to Akash. Okay, yeah, we have a question. In crypto, there are high chances of scam. Do you worry about any account being hacked?
Yeah, Kamal. So, as I mentioned, when I think Deepak brought up the point of which exchanges to use. So, one of the points I mentioned is about the security. So always check on exchange security. And I think someone in the chat posted that Chinese try to hack Bitcoin. So if we talk about a coin like Bitcoin, Bitcoin can never be hacked because of the blockchain application. Exchange can be hacked. So on exchanges also we have different types of security features that we can add on. There is a 2FA, we can set up those authenticators. Then there are the different OTPs we have. So adding a level of security on the exchange. First of all, check the security of the exchanges. Then adding a level of verifications on your holdings. And once the size of your holdings get to a prominent up to a prominent size of your holdings, so in that case, I would actively manage my security on that.
I think with that, we have had a whole bunch of learning from Akash Man. It really feels that the gain that you have got from Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies, you really deserved it. Even after making those gains, you are so grounded, you are so humble and open to share your knowledge and experience honestly, frankly, with everyone. It's really commendable, and we all are blessed that you spared your time to share your story with us, give us tips and advices which could help all the members on the call now and who would be watching the video offline. We really thank you from the bottom of heart and would be very happy to keep learning from your messages in the group, and hopefully we will talk to you in future as well on our sessions, and we wish you good luck and hope you keep growing further the way God has blessed you with these gains from Dogecoin. Hope you make more gains and prosper in your days to come. Thank you for your wonderful time.
Thank you so much, Kamal. Thank you for your lovely and wise words. I wish equal and far more success to you and the community and everybody I have been learning from. And I would, what I would say is, we keep learning from each other and have a good financial front for everyone, for our families, and for our well-being. And stay the journey. And happy investing to everyone. And looking forward to the future session, future technical analysis. And if there is anything I could add to the community, I would love doing that. And always going to stay active with our community. And glad I joined the community last year, and it's been fruitful till now. And let's hope for a fruitful future for everyone.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
with
so much.
that, I'll wish everyone a happy Sunday.
Thank you so much. And we'll keep holding together GMT growing as a community for everyone's successful investing and trading journey and future growth. With that, thank you all. Thanks for joining and tuning into the session and hope you all had a wonderful learning. Wish you all a safe and successful future weeks and days to come and talk to you all next time.